We might have just had confirmation that the Eglin Air Force Base UFO event was actually real, with many people, including Representative Matt Gaetz, speaking about this, coming forward and almost confirming that this event actually happened. And this was brought to my attention by a Twitter page that goes by the name Skyfire News. They went on to state, quotes, "The image of something that I'm not able to attach to any human capability, either from the United States or any of our adversaries." Matt Gaetz. Representative Matt Gaetz speaking about the Eglin Air Force Base UFO event at the July Congressional UFO hearing. Today, John Greenwald received an FOIA release about this event. So this is the original congressional hearing. So we'll play that out first so you can get a bit of context, and then we're going to really deep dive into this because it gets juicy. Let's go. Before we get into the video though, be sure to go over to the brand new YouTube channel that we've got running all sorts of stories around pop culture and trending news called Simply Said. There will be a link down in the pinned comment and in the description. Go and drop it a subscribe, come back, watch this video, or go and subscribe after this video. I don't care. As long as you go over, that's all that matters. Anyway, let's get into the video. Cheers.
Received a protected disclosure from Eglin Air Force Base indicating that there was a UAP incident that required my attention. I sought a briefing regarding that episode and brought with me Congressman Burchett and Congresswoman Luna. We asked to see any of the evidence that had been taken by flight crew in this endeavor and to observe any radar signature as well as to meet with the flight crew. We were not afforded access to all of the flight crew. And initially, we were not afforded access to images and to radar. Thereafter, we had a bit of a discussion about how authorities flow in the United States of America, and we did see the image. And we did meet with one member of the flight crew who took the image. The image was of something that I am not able to attach to any human capability, either from the United States or from any of our adversaries. And I'm somewhat informed on the matter, having served on the Armed Services Committee for 7 years, having served on the committee that oversees DARPA and advanced technologies for several years. When we spoke with the flight crew, and when he showed us the photo that he'd taken, I asked why the video wasn't engaged, why we didn't have a FLIR system that worked. Here's what he said. They were out on a test mission that day over the Gulf of Mexico, and when you're on a test mission, you're supposed to have clear airspace, not supposed to be anything that shows up. And they saw a sequence of 4 craft in a clear diamond formation for which there is a radar sequence that I alone have observed in the United States Congress. One of the pilots goes to check out that diamond formation and sees a large floating, what I can only describe as an orb, again, like I said, not of any human capability that I'm aware of. And when he approached, he said that his radar went down, he said that his FLIR system malfunctioned, and that he had to manually take this image from one of the lenses, and it was not automated in collection as you would typically see in a test mission. So I guess I'll start with Commander Fravor. How should we think about the fact that this craft that was approached by our pilot had the capability of disarming a number of the sensor and collection systems on that craft?
Well, I think this goes to that national security side, and you can go back through history of things showing up at certain areas and disabling our capabilities, which is disheartening. And for us, I mean, like I said, it completely disabled the radar on the aircraft when it tried to do it, and the only way we could see it is passively, which is how he got that image. So I think that's a concern on what are these doing, not only how do they operate, but their capabilities inside to do things like this.
And how should we think about 4 craft moving in a very clear formation, equidistant from one another, in a diamond? In all of the phenomenon, perhaps, Mr. Grave, that you've analyzed, have we ever seen multiple craft in a single formation?
I have one particular case, and that was during the gimbal incident. The recording on the AT FLIR system shows a single object that rotates. You hear the pilots refer to a fleet of objects that is not visible on the FLIR system, and that was something that I witnessed during the debrief as part of the radar data on the situational awareness page. I would like to add, however, Congressman, There's small bit of anger, I would say. I would feel that those pilots are still facing that difficulty in reporting this topic, and they don't have the tools to be able to mitigate this issue. It just goes to show how serious this is and why this is such an important issue for our pilots and for our nation.
It was stated explicitly to me by these test pilots that if you have a UAP experience, the best thing you can do for your career is forget it and not tell anyone. Because any type of reporting, either above the surface or below the surface, does have a perceived consequence to these people. And that is a culture we must change if we want to get to the truth.
So there it is. That was the initial Congress meeting hearing stuff that happened back in 2023. So since this, there's not been much about this. This was just kind of left at this. And, you know, obviously, Matt Gaetz is asking a lot of very difficult questions and a lot of questions that people wanted to dodge. But recently, the Air Force releases details about the 2023 UAP sighting first brought to light by Congressman Matt Gaetz. Gaetz said from images that he saw the object, he was, quote, not able to attach any human capability either from the United States or from any other adversaries. So this, from speaking to the pilot, he was asked obviously to kind of almost map out what he saw, and this is what he came up with. So gunmetal grey, okay, orangey reddish in this part here, but berry air, no smoke. Okay, so basically what that indicates is the fact that this is being propelled by some kind of force, but it's not leaving a smoke trail like you would typically see with a plane or a jet or anything like that. So what is propelling it? Nothing that we are capable of. And from the declassified summary, on the 26th of January 2023, an US Air Force pilot gained radar lock on 4 separate UAP. Upon approach, the pilot was able to make visual contact and employ sensors to obtain a screen capture of the first of these objects. The remaining 3 were only detected by radar. UAP-1 likened to the, quote, Apollo spacecraft in size and shape, with an orange-reddish illuminated rounded bottom and the top section a 3-dimensional cone shape comprising gunmetal grey segment panels. UAP-1 operated at an altitude of around 16,000 above ground level, AGL. The second and third UAPs were noted at altitude 17 and 18,000. The fourth was almost lost from radar and no altitude was noted. Moreover, no airspeeds were noted for any of the UAP in this report. Of note, upon closing within 4,000 feet of UAP-1, the radar malfunctioned and remained disabled for the remainder of the event. Post-mission investigation revealed that a circuit breaker had triggered, but the maintenance technicians were unable to conclusively diagnose the fault. That is interesting. That gives us almost everything that we need to know about this, surely. You know, we've got clear image of what this actually could have possibly been. We know the heights and the depths of these things, and, you know, fail-safes were triggered without any notable cause. So what caused it? What was making these things move? What makes them tick? There's nothing that we know that can make these things work. Moreover, John Greenwald Jr., tweeted, so the video imagery is entirely classified and exempt from disclosure, yet it's maybe only a balloon. And the instrumentation issues were all just a coincidence. So this is obviously sarcastic. At some point, we should all have to realize the events are piling up and likely go beyond just balloons and coincidences. That doesn't mean alien, but it certainly means that there's something more than that. And he is absolutely right. Piling on, more pressure to, just piling on so much more pressure to these people who are trying so desperately, clinging on for dear life to make these things go away, to keep these things quiet. And, it is making it almost impossible, really, isn't it? When you've got this kind of evidence, these kind of people coming forward, and this amount of pressure being piled on. It's only so many times you can blame it on balloons and, regular anomalies. But on Reddit, there was a post. So we've got the original image just here. Someone has put this into an AI generator, and it has come back with a strikingly accurate copy of this craft. Okay, so this is just based off of the drawing, but AI has generated, and it would look something like this. Obviously, we've got the gunmetal plates here. We've got the orangey reddish part here. No smoke screen, no nothing, just being propelled up in the sky. And someone took to X and said, someone on Reddit made a pretty good AI render of the Eglin UAP. Matt Gates, what are your thoughts? Are they accurate? And as of yet, from what I can tell, I don't think Matt Gates has actually responded to this, which is a real shame, because if I would absolutely love to know if this truly did look like it. But I think that could well be confirmation that this UAP actually was in our skies and was definitely over the Eglin US Air Force Base. What do you make of all this new information, though? Do you think that this is legit, or do you think that it was just balloons like the government want us to supposedly believe? I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. While you're down there, be sure to jump scare the hell out of that like button, subscribe if you're new, and tickle my little bell so you get notified whenever we upload. And until next time, I hope that you have enjoyed. Don't forget to go over to Simply Said, the new YouTube channel, and drop it a subscribe. And until next time, I hope that you've enjoyed. Cannot wait to see you in the next one, and I'll catch you later. Peace.